In your review packet, we're going to do 6 and 7. IQs follow normal distribution with the mean of 100 and a standard deviation of 15. So let's do that real quick. There's 100, 115, 130, 145. Going down, 85, 70, and 55. Fill in the normal bell curve, 3 standard deviations above or below the mean. Okay, I've already done that. Find the z-score that corresponds to an IQ of 140. A lot of students have forgotten the z-score formula. It's your data point, subtract the mean, divided by the standard deviation. Your data point is 140. The mean is 100. The standard deviation is 15. Now if they don't tell you what to round to, I would just round to the nearest tenth. So I have 40 on top divided by 15. I'm going to round it to 2.7. Approximately 2.7. Determine the percent of people excuse me. Determine the percent of people with an IQ higher than 140. Well, 140 does not lie on one of the columns. It wants to know what's above that. So I come down below here, and I know I'm going to have to use the normal CDF. 140 is the low. We want to know what's higher than that. Since we're not given a higher number, it's positive 999. The mean is 100. Standard deviation is 3. How do we do this? It's going to go second. Nope. Is it second VARS? Then go to normal CDF. And I'm going to put in 140, comma 999. Did I plug something in wrong? Oh, 15. Thank you so much. Okay. Wow. So if I move this as a percent, if I move this to the right, and does it say what to round to? It does not. So I'll make sure the test does say what to round to. But if I move this to the right, this would be 0 point rounded, let's say 4%. If we had to round to the nearest tenth of a percent. You're moving it 2 places to the right. Find the percentage of people who have IQs between 85 and 100. Well, we're lucky because 85 and 100 are the columns. What number is in here? 34. Approximately 95% of all people, remember the middle 95 percentile, is 2 above and 2 below the mean. So what numbers are associated with 2 above and 2 below? 72, 130. Let's go to the next one. I'm starting to cough more and more. Have one person read it out loud in your group. Fill out the bell curve. Go ahead. Don't wait for me to do it. Start filling it out, please. When you're done, find a z-score of 16.5. Remember, 16.5 is your data point. I'm going to round it to the nearest tenth. determine the number of bags that are lighter than 16.5. Well, 16.5 is somewhere in here, but it's not on a column. So I want to know the bags that are lighter than that. 16.5 is my top number. I don't know a bottom number. Negative 9999. I do know what the mean is and the standard deviation. Rounding it to the nearest tenth of a percent. Again, if it doesn't tell you what to round to, I will tell you tomorrow. Because of time, I'm going to move ahead to make sure I can finish this up. Find the percentage of eggs that weigh between 15 to 15.5. Bless you. Well, 15 is not one of the lines, the columns, and 15.5 is not one of the columns. So again, I will use second VARS normal CDF. My low number is 15. My high number is 15.5. The average is 16. Standard deviation is 0.3. And I'm going to round to the nearest tenth of a percent, 4.7%. Approximately 95% of all people are between, my fault, approximately 95%, and this should have been 95% of the bags are between, there's 1, 2, between 15.4 and 16.6. 2 standard deviations above and below the average.